What's up, shrimpers? I'm really excited to share this video, the highlights of our 2021 shrimping season, some of the lessons we learned, and some underwater footage of shrimp entering our shrimp pots. I know, pretty cool, right? Can't wait to show you that. Gotta keep watching. But also, we're gonna go to some advanced shrimping topics. How to place our pots down quickly in competitive shrimping seasons in these 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. openers, and how to know where to place the pot. We're gonna cover all this and more. Stay tuned, keep watching, enjoy. Pay attention to what's going on in this footage. Look at where you can see my bait is milking out, just oozing out, which is what you want, right? Like you don't want bait that's just coming out in a huge cloud. It'll milk too fast. You don't want bait that's maybe not milking hardly at all, or just trickling out for these 45 to maybe hour and 15-minute soak. You want to just provide this nice scent trail, kind of be oozing, milking out over time, but look at which direction it's going out. Look, it's only going in one direction, which fortunately for this footage, it's like coming right at the camera, right? So which direction is your bait gonna go when you drop your pot? It's gonna go with the current, right? So in this case, we had a flood current, and the flood current was taking my bait north and close into shore, right? That's what a flood current does. And up north along this ridge. And so, as you can imagine, the shrimp are going to come in the pot from the direction the bait is going. That's the only way they're going to find your pot, right? Is by following your scent trail. Now, this is also why in high current situations you don't get a lot of shrimp in your pot, because the shrimp are having to fight the current to get into your pot, which they're not going to do if the current is very strong. So the best case scenario, really the best, if you get to choose when you drop, where you drop, versus like our 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. openings, is if you've got a current that is slowing down, right? So it starts out milking out in one direction. Let's say on an ebb tide, it's going into deeper water, and then the shrimp are gonna, as the current slows down, are gonna follow that bait trail into your pot in massive numbers, right as that current's changing. Well, in these 9 a.m. openers, you drop at 9 a.m. you do what you got to do, but in really competitive spaces where you're trying to compete for who can get their pots down, in the best locations the fastest. Knowing whether you're in a flood or an ebb tide and which direction your scent trail is going to go might determine whether you drop in 310 feet or 250 feet, right? If the ideal shrimp depth is 270 to 290, you may want to pick off the edges of where the shrimp are at based on which direction the current's going. If it's an ebb current, you want your pots to be a little shallower, maybe that 250, 260 depth, because that scent is gonna, if most of the shrimp are holding 270 to 290, your bait trail is going to go right to them, and they're going to follow that bait trail up into your pot. Conversely, if you have a flood current, right, you might want to be a little deeper, because you want that your bait to be heading towards the shrimp, maybe up the slope, etc., a little bit deeper. So all of this factors in to having great results shrimping, having good bait, knowing which direction your bait's going to go out of, dropping in the right spot. All of these things are related, and you might need a few years on the water of messing with this before it becomes really clear over time how it affects your shrimping results.
Oh, 9 o'clock, dump it.
Go.
All right, in these 4-hour openers, it's absolutely critical to get your pots down as fast as possible and get them in the right locations. And sometimes you have to work around a lot of other people trying to do the same thing. A lot of people are letting their pot pull line out when they're dropping. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm on the motor, and I am I've dropped my pot and I am ripping out that line. I'm trying to get that thing out as fast as possible. I'm not waiting for the pot to hit bottom. I'm not waiting to verify, make sure it hits. I am just trying to get line out, get to my next spot. I'm not worried about running out of line. I know where I'm dropping. I know how much line I got. To be able to do this effectively, you need to know a few things before that opening bell hits at 9 a.m. You should have an idea what depths shrimp are at in the area you're going to drop your pots. You should know which direction the current's going. Is it a flood current? Is it an ebb current? Which direction is that current going? And what are other people around you doing, right? You're going to have to look around while you're doing this because other people are trying to get their pots down, and you want to make sure you don't drop right on where their pots are at. So you got to be paying attention to what's going on around you while you're doing this.
How do you know it's on the bottom?
Just know. 400 feet of rope, 300 feet of water. If you've watched my earlier videos on shrimping, you know my system, right? It's important to have a system. You've got C-links connecting strands of rope. You got C-links connecting to pots, connecting to buoys. You got two different buoys, this buoy stick and the insurance buoy and the big round ones. It's important to have a system that you have thought through why you're doing it, and you put it together really fast, and attach it really fast on the water. So there's no drama with equipment, right? You're just snapping stuff into place, getting it over, getting it in the water, and getting shrimping. Another really important part of that system is unique identifiers on our buoy sticks, right? You don't want to spend a bunch of time pulling up your pots trying to find the pots, right? So we got different colored flags on each pot that are kind of unique to us, and we also have someone whose job it is as the note taker. They record the color pot that went over, what time, and what time it goes back down after we pull it the first time. So we sort of always know situationally how long a pot is soaking, which our next pot to go pick up. All right, so you can see I'm looking over at this white boat, right? I mean, they're kind of dropping in the same area I am, and I want to make sure I'm not dropping too close to their pots. I want to make sure there's enough space. I'm also trying to get my pots down ahead of them so I can get to the shrimping line I want. I want all my pots about 75 to 100 yards apart in a line in the best spots. But you can't always do that, and like we talked about earlier, knowing which direction your bait's going to milk out on a flood or an ebb helps you decide where to pick off maybe the edges if you can't get the optimal spot. You also got to pay attention to what way the current's going to know whether you're dropping a pot on top of someone else's pot, even if you look like you're away from their buoy. All right, so let's talk about that. Where is it okay to drop a pot in relation to where you see a buoy? Look at this picture. Visualize this picture as if it was like part of what you're looking at in one of those competitive shrimp openers. Where is it okay for this boat to drop their next pot? There's buoys everywhere, right? Pause the video, try to decide for yourself. Where is it okay to drop that pot? And then take a look at this next picture coming up right here. This is going to show you where it's okay. The green smiley face, where it's okay. The red X's, where it's not. Why? Well, the flood current is going to tell you that the buoys are going to be a little bit distant from the pot. So many people think that if they drop their pot away from someone else's buoy that they're picking the right spot to drop, and that is not the case. You've got to know the current, how it's acting on those buoys to decide where to drop your next pot. It's super, super important. Take a look at this picture. This reveals where the pots are in relation to the buoys and why there's red X's on those spots where it would have been bad to drop. Sometimes dropping your pot right near someone else's buoy is actually the best place and give you the most separation and distance between their pot and your pot. But you got to know what the current's doing. You get the idea. Hold on, we got one more to go still. But we are down. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Stop.
Oh yeah.
Wow! Oh my god!
Sounds done. High five. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Good
say
job.
that's 110. Definitely easier.
All right, she's got it. She's got it. Here we go. There we go. Pop that in.
So good.
Yeah.
Told you.
What's that taste like?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tastes like shrimp.
Yeah.